Man, shoot. Man, shoot. All right, let's see if we get notifications out here. Usually, I don't really touch upon pop culture stuff like this. I know it's been a while actually since I talked on anything non soap opera. Well, technically, this is soap opera if you want to count, real life in that category, but everyone and their mother is talking about it. I watched the Red Table Talk when it dropped. I was actually watching Kev on Stage's his Here's the Thing podcast bonus episode on Patreon. During his live stream of that live of the podcast, the Will and Jada thing dropped and they watched it on the podcast and then they reacted. So I literally saw it right when it dropped. And I've been doing eBay stuff all day because if you've been on the channel, I dropped damn near 20 episodes of 20 videos on the channel. So I got to get your thoughts, with the Will and Jada thing. I really don't follow a lot of celebrity drama. Yeah, if loving you is wrong, I felt like this was the appropriate banner to have up. And speaking of Kev on Stage, I'm rocking my Righteous and Ratchet t-shirt, but I know what the Kardashians, the Smiths, there's always, like what, Monique and her husband has their open relationship and whatnot, but the August Alsina thing, I want to be honest here. I've never watched one single Red Table Talk in my life. I've seen clips and bits and pieces when I've watched other videos and people talk about the hot topics, but excuse me. Welcher Sparkling. This is the white grape. I figured I should have a red solo cup for my Red Table Talk discussion. But in any case, yeah, I was at home, for the 4th, and I remember hearing that story going viral, but I didn't think too much of it. I thought, oh, well, just another person probably clout chasing, trying to get some notoriety online right now. I'm like, Kanye announces he's running for president. August drops his story about Jada. Is like both are probably gimmicks to sell albums or something like that. But then I hear Jada calling herself to the table. I'm like, okay. I believed August the whole time. Like I said, I really didn't think too much of it because these celebrities, I think I said it before, if Beyonce could be cheated on, anybody could. And watching the Red Table Talk, it wasn't necessarily cheating because they were actually about to get separated. Yeah, the timing of him bringing this up is suspect. And it's just one of those things. Hey, Keith, how's it going? It's just one of those things where if nobody asked, I think Cat Williams said this in First Sunday. It's like, I don't think I would have told anybody that. That's just me. So let's break down the Red Table Talk. One of the most interesting lines of dialogue was when Will was joking, haha, I got to get even with you, right? And then she's like, oh, I think we're even. We're just going to slide past that because did that hint that Jada had August, but it seems like Will had his own dates on the calendar. I don't think he was me neither. NDA, non-disclosure agreement. I think it's one of those situations where that wasn't really thought about because at the time, like they said, they were legitimately about to get a separation or something along those lines. So I think it was like free fair game, but then it came back to bite her. And the fact that dates on the calendar, what can I say? But when I think about this situation, when I first watched them, like, is this? I felt a bit biased as a man. It's like when a woman tries to explain why she went with someone else, there's all these big and fancy words they can use to kind of prance around the subject. But when it's a man that's cheating, they're automatically guilty, even when they try to explain why. Nobody cares. But Jada just seems. I don't feel like Will as the Jada in the video because he said like I'm the Jada in this situation. I'm the one at the table. It's like Jada's body language, like, she wasn't on, her hands weren't on the table like they usually are. I felt like she was beating around the bush compared to when she's talking with Snoop Dogg or Aisha Curry or whoever else is brought to the table. I feel like this was the video didn't need to be as long as it was. What was about 12 and a half, 13 minutes long? But if you subtract the prancing around the subject, 5 to 7 minutes. Trapped in the closet, more like trapped in Bel Air. Yeah, dude, entanglement. Like, again, I'm not saying I want the vulgarness of it all in the details, but just say it for what it was. We had and healing. I'm pretty sure they got medication for that. Healing, entanglement. Because even Will's like, Jada, you have people bringing it to the table and you called yourself to the table. So I need you to explain what happened. It was after she said entanglement for the first time. And Will was like, okay, let's just break it down. Because he knew. I feel like there was a discussion about how far they should go in the conversation and what should be said. And I feel like Jada kind of went off script, like she didn't say what they agreed to what she should say. And that's why Will was like, "Hey Jada, I'm going to need you, Jada, I'm going to have to need you to, really get into the details to tell me the nitty gritty." Check it out, tell me. But no, she stuck to her guns. It was a friendship. Um, he was at a situation. We brought him into the family because he needed help. He was going through a lot, and we developed a friendship, and then the healing and the deep, and then it's like, and again, I'm not going to criticize somebody for saying how they felt, but I felt some kind of way because Will's face. I don't think I've ever seen that emotional look on Will's face outside of acting. Like, how come you don't want me, man? Or like that in the pursuit of happiness. I wonder what their children think about this and their loved ones. Agreed. And then the fact that it was just these two in the interview, that there were, excuse me, there were conversations that occurred after the cameras went off. Because that ending was so cringy. It's like something, something, bad marriage for life. Y'all still want that Will and Jada love? I'm good on that. I know marriage isn't traditional anymore. I mean, me personally, I'm old guy at heart, I guess you could say. But if I ever get married, wouldn't shock me if Will had an affair with somebody like Margot Robbie. I was thinking the same thing. Hey, Michelle. It's like one of those situations where I felt like Will wanted to go deeper into the conversation, no pun intended. But I feel like if he went too far, that table could have been flipped. And then Will would have to. It's one of those situations where if August came out, well, Will Smith being Will Smith, he probably had some NDAs, non-disclosure agreement signed, because I'm not going to sit up here. I'm not going to sit up here and believe that they both haven't had other people, because the way they talk about, oh yeah, we stay together for everything. Wait, Liza. Wait, isn't she that YouTuber? Hang on. Yeah, I'm sure Will has had some honeys. Yeah, some honeys. Up in Bel Air. I know my fingers look weird on the cup, but this thing is like really. This is colder than I thought, so it's hard for me to keep my fingers together. Oh yeah, that YouTuber. I mean, I feel like she hosted Double Date. Or no, Double Dare. Double Dare. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't get my notification. Well, you're here now. And I'm just giving my thoughts and situation. I just feel like hopefully he didn't have any honeys in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days. I'm not surprised. Like, I honestly never thought that these two wouldn't have had an open marriage. Well, not maybe not an open marriage, but or open relate. I don't even know the correct terminology. Look, I'm old fashioned. If I'm with somebody, I'm with them. And I mean, I would say there are a few things that would make me get a divorce or leave someone. Cheating is definitely at the top of the list there, but I I feel like it was kind of hard to watch because there were so many cringy moments. It's just the fact that Jada kept talking about entanglement. And I was like, just say what it was, man. Just say what it was so we can move forward. And unless Will has some NDAs, let's just hope that nobody random pops up and say, I was with Will Smith, and then they'll have a red table talk number two. It's just one of those situations where, yeah, and also, was it just me? Because Jada was talking like she was a bit hurt that her and August haven't talked in years. It's almost as if she got a text message, an email, or a phone call not too long after the red table talk, she wouldn't be against replying. Because if you ask me, I did watch the August interview a few hours ago because I never watched it. And I believed him because as a man, just listening to him talk and the tone, what was it, with Angela Yee, I believe, from the Breakfast Club. Unless he's an extremely good actor, men don't talk like that unless they really were in love or they really had feelings for someone. Because the way he was, hey, I'm doing all right, hope you are too. The way he was talking, it was one of those situations where it seemed like, and now that we know based on the red table talk that Will and Jada were about to call it quits, it's almost as if August thought that which one dumped the other, August or Jada. Based on my interpretation, I think Jada called it off because her and Will got back together. I think August was under the assumption that, oh, Will and Jada are split, so me and Jada are going to be together. So I think Jada was the one that kind of ended it, and then August was the one who never talked to her again. That's what I think. I mean, that's what I got. That's what I got. I mean, I don't think we'll ever see the three of them together at a red table. That'll be pretty interesting. I feel like this was probably more of a rating stunt because when you think about it, and I get it when it comes to these relationships and whatnot, I don't think everything has to be in the public eye. But when you are a person who kind of self employs themselves to be the principal of black people, like imagine black culture as a school. Jada is the principal, and when you get called to the red table, you have to come down. Come down Snoop, come down whoever else. So I feel like Wendy Williams, she gossips and talks about everyone on her radio show back in the day. We're not talking about the voting for Kanye nonsense here. Nah, we ain't doing that. Or on her talk show now, like when Wendy Williams was going through her thing with her ex-husband, people were calling her out because it's like, oh, so you can talk about everyone else and their mother, but you're not going to talk about what your spouse has been doing. So I feel like this was just to save face, but it was done in the safest way possible. Next week is when I start my rewatches of the Haves and Have-Nots and If Loving You Is Wrong. Because, bruh, it's official mid-season finale, meaning that the Greenleaf and the Oval are the only shows for me to review, and we only got 3 more Ovals left. So, yeah, I got to do something. But I'm not worried. Plenty of content's coming. Don't worry about it. And for Patreon members, again, I got plenty of time, meaning plenty of content. Yeah, guys, give the video a thumbs up. I don't want to think it, but it feels like they just brought this up for ratings. I agree. I agree. Oh, sorry. I was getting a message about the Willens thing. Okay. I mean, my thoughts fully. It's their marriage, or whatever you want to call it. All I know is I don't want a marriage like that. That's it. I mean, no Joker Harley, no Beyonce Jay-Z. No, Will, Jada. When I get a marriage, if I get one, I want it to be, well, my marriage. I think I want it to be a godly marriage and traditional in the sense of just the two of us. Because I'm wondering, in Jada's pursuit of happiness, were there moments where she wanted to set it off with Will and got with August instead? Have you seen his sister and mother-in-law speak about the situation? No. Public marriages always get ruined by the media. Yep. Do you think they will have serious issues after this? I think they have issues now. I mean, think into this. MJ, that's great. Excuse me. It seemed to me that they've moved past this. Yeah, see, I don't really follow Will and Jada, the Kardashians, or anything. It's just the fact that this blew up. Like, this was a big deal. Like, I was editing earlier, and then I just saw it trending. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I was watching Kev on Stage's podcast live, and the Red Table Talk dropped during the live stream, and then he watched it, him, Angel, and Josh, and then they did a reaction, and then that's how I watched it. And then I watched it again. Then I watched the August interview, and now I'm doing this video now because I see everybody's talking about it. I didn't want to do. I could have done a video, but I'd rather do a live stream because it's more fun interacting with other people. But I feel like watching the interview, I feel like Will and Jada have moved past it, but talking about it again has reopened those wounds. Because imagine that. Imagine being in a relationship with somebody, one of you steps out on the other, because I don't know, again, I can't judge to say what's fair and what's not. Like, if I'm in a marriage with a woman and we both agree we're going to separate, and before like the papers are signed and whatever, does one person have the right? Let me reiterate. Okay, you just answer me. Open marriages for everyone? No. I mean, everybody has different tastes. But basically, I don't know. I just feel like they've moved past it, but there was probably a fight that went on once the cameras stopped rolling. That's all I'm saying. I feel like I felt like Will when he said, I need you to tell me exactly what happened. And she stood firm. I mean, she wasn't wearing her heels, so I can't say that she had her heels buried in the ground, but she stuck to her guns and was like, you know what? Hey, I got entangled. Again, it's like one of those situations where if a man, and again, as a man, I might say I'm biased, but if a man was trying to explain the situation the way Jada did, nah. Oh, sorry, I'm getting messages and they're popping up on my dang screen. So if you hear bing, 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 that's what it is. That's not the kind of relationship I want. I mean, we got about 60 people watching. Is there anyone watching who's married who would want a marriage like that? And again, I'm not trying to call out their marriage specifically, but I mean, I commend people who go through rough patches like that and can make it out. And I'm glad they did, but I just feel like there's two sides to every story. You're right about the male-female explanation thing. Oh yeah, even if a man was honestly trying to express himself, like, I felt like in our marriage I wasn't being cared for. I felt like I wasn't getting the attention and affection from you that I needed. The man will be called out. Well, oh no, see, that's what you get. It's like, what if you weren't giving her the love and affection that she needed? I agree. It seems they moved past this, but I bet this made. Oh, yeah, again, based on how they talked, this was something that was done. But I mean, August was on the red table, what, 2 years ago? I don't think it was a good idea to have like pictures and whatnot of him and the family because this sparks all kinds of speculations. I mean, they are married for life, I guess. Yeah, well, exactly. When she said, "Oh, we're even," I'm like, "So, Will, you've had your own, not just Jada and August, right?" But again, I feel like the conversation, the Will Smith brand, it's like Tiger Woods. When Tiger got exposed for cheating, it just went wild. So with Will Smith smiling, you really can't have that mess up your brand. I feel like I bet if this was a woman coming out about the affair, will what? That is a very good question because I'm a Christian. That is a very good question. I mean, sometimes, for example, if you've been on the channel long enough, I know some of you know that I personally, I'm saving myself for marriage. I, I mean, as a kid, I felt like I chose that because I was a Christian, but as I got older, I felt like I chose it because it's something that I wanted, as opposed to an obligation because of my religion. For example, I wanted to marry a virgin, but as I got older, I realized that it's honestly not that realistic of a goal. It's like they say, don't set your standards too high, but don't settle, because some standards can be set in stone. That doesn't mean you can't change, but I feel like I'm not going to say, "Oh, I met a Christian woman. Oh, but you had sex before we got before you got married, so nah, I don't want you." That's not how I operate. Nah. Again, as you get older, you change. But in an open relationship, I don't. Would you even ask her how many men she slept? Y'all asking her, look, this, look, whoa, 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 whoa. Look, I know I got the red solo cup. I know my iPod is balancing on a red box, but I'm not called to the red table, damn it. But no, for real. I I just feel like an open relationship isn't for me. So I don't know if I can say that that's non-Christian. That's very cool, Jeremy. I'm proud of you, bro. Your parents did a good job raising you. Thank you. Um, let me put it this way. I know the argument could be made. Well, Jeremy, in the Bible, what about like King Solomon, King David? All those people had like harems of women. Valid point. Arguably, that's Old Testament, but valid point. Sometimes I wonder, is their marriage, if it's business, because in Hollywood they do it. Oh, dude, Leo, I agree. That's why I said I bet Will has some side chicks, but if that came up, that would affect his brand. I understand being separated, things can happen with another person, but separated means married. That who said this? So oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I'm trying to get that chat back. Trying to get the chat back. Toya J, that is a very good point. I felt the same way about my job. When I was at the call center, when things were getting bad for the entire company, people would complain, and I wouldn't, not on the clock. And I would tell people, like, look, even on my resignation letter, I wrote a 13-page letter. I'm like, I came in and did my job, because as long as you have Jeremy Carden on payroll, I'm doing my job. But when I quit, I'm gone. August really broke, so I do law number one: thou shalt not less. Sorry about that. I had to respond to a chat. It was too good not to. Oh, thanks for the donation, MK. M King. Hello from Memphis. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate it. Hey guys, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And if you want to donate via Cash App, it's $JEREMYCARDEN, Jeremy Carden. $JEREMYCARDEN. Just saying. Anyway, keeping it a secret like that can mess with someone. I agree, especially the dude felt like he was in love. You made a great point. Jada said it's been 4 years since it happened, but August on the Red Table Talk not too long ago. Yeah, a couple years ago. I think August really caught some feelings for Jada. I agree. Do you really do the past really come back to haunt you? Yes. There have been times where something would happen to me and I'm not understanding why, but then I'm like, oh, that thing from 3 years ago, or say not obviously not girl related, but in terms of just life stuff. I think Will should divorce. Again, I feel like both parties have had their side pieces at the red table, but I feel like I'm not going to sit here and say they should get a divorce because I don't know. I mean, dang, it's 11:10. There's some loud people in the freaking parking lot just zooming by. I mean, it's just one of those situations where they're rich, but then you have people working minimum wage jobs who are in relationships or marriages who go through the same thing. Yeah, see, yeah, I agree. I don't see them getting a divorce. She blew up the spot though. Trust me, if Courtney got permission. Oh, sorry. Ain't nobody knowing. Matter of fact, let me hush up in case Courtney listening. Angela Bassett. Will never admitted to anything he did. He did because he wasn't caught. Completely agree. August is trying to go in on Kiki now. On Kiki Palmer. Maybe Will got polygamous stuff from her parents. She misspoke when she said she was helping him heal. She was saying everything but sex. I mean, plus they got married when they were young. I mean, this was like early in their careers before they really exploded. So he pretty much locked it down early on before he was like box office Will and whatnot. So I feel like when you get married that young, you really feel like you. Yeah, I agree. We talked about it earlier. Will's side pieces probably most likely sign NDAs. Entanglement means bed tango. Oh, yes. Jada did say that. I did hear about that interview. Didn't Will pretty much dumping other women to get with Jada? I don't know exactly, but yeah, I do remember hearing about that. I think I'm waiting until I'm like 30 for marriage. I'm about to turn 29 next month, and I don't know. I just that's the thing. It's hard to tell if it was an advantage because they were both legal of age, but an older woman knows how to entrance a man. I believe Will Smith was married to his first baby mama. I'm just hitting my early 20s. I feel old. Yeah, we've had to grow up fast despite our ages, you know? Like, imagine our parents, late teenage, leaving school, getting a job. August is only 5 years older than Jaden. I know, right? It's crazy. He's around my age. He's like, what, 27, I think? 26, 27. I just feel like, I remember, I doubt August was the only other man. Oh, yeah, yeah. Heather Rose, I definitely agree. August was not the only one. Yeah, he's 27. Okay. Do you think you ever find the right woman to marry? Because I haven't found the right one yet. I'm 25. As a person who doesn't go out a lot, who works from home, is solo in his projects, and due to the pandemic, I was thinking about that earlier. It's like I don't really see myself meeting anyone anytime soon, unless it's someone who I've already met but I haven't gotten to know in that romantic sense. I don't know. I honestly do not know. I just feel like Mark Anthony, while married to, yeah, they've had their look. Let's just put it this way: It's most likely. Oh, he was married to Cherie. I doubt if she would have let any polygamous stuff fly. I agree. Yeah, Will was married to Trey's mother. I agree. I remember telling a friend of mine, I think I said this on here too, maybe once. If I ever so much as I'm just throwing it out there. Let's say if Tyler Perry's like, Jeremy, been watching your channel for a while, you do good stuff. How would you like a cameo role or a one-line speaking role on one of my shows? I will delete all of my social media except for YouTube. Basically because even though I haven't said or sent anything dirty or whatever the situation is, we live in a cancel culture. I'm saving myself for marriage. We are living in a cancel culture where you can say, my favorite color is blue, but somebody will try to cancel you because how come you don't like red? And when it comes to a relationship, the last thing I want is for it to be in the public eye. It's like I remember, who did Justin Timberlake marry? Was it Jessica Biel, right? From Seventh Heaven? I know I'm not trying to switch subjects while I'm trying to make a point. Yeah, Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. And I know that Justin and Jay-Z are friends. And I think that he said once that Jay-Z gave him the advice to keep their relationship private. But then things blew up when Justin got caught with a young co-star. That Tyler Perry cameo. No, I ain't playing. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, gone. Because I'm not trying to be canceled. Again, I haven't done anything scandalous, but at the same time, they cancel people for anything, well, except don't even get me started on that. Do you think your future wife will be a virgin, or would you be cool if she was? It's like I said before. It's all good. Good for you. It's dangerous out here these days. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? It's like I said, when I first began to understand the concept of the importance of being pure for marriage, I wanted a wife who was also pure. But as I got older, I realized that isn't as realistic as it used to be because, well, people bang. What if she had a video of her flowing or y'all asking the real questions. Anytime Halle Berry wants me to make her feel good, she's getting the I'm glad I didn't finish that comment, but you're right. It's just like I feel like the double standard isn't fully in place. It's like if Will was in Jada's position, it would be a entirely different conversation. Come on, we're having an open discussion. Just because they have an open relationship doesn't mean we have to have an open discussion. But I really do agree that yeah, if the table was flipped, if Will was sitting in Jada's spot, he would be getting dragged. What if you never get married and then what would you do? I don't want to grow old by myself. Next question. True, Jeremy. Most people do test drive the car first. So you're right. Yes, delete. But these days things are still floating around the web. I agree. I think about that sometimes. Like, well, Lord, if I never get married and then I die a virgin, is that like an instant pass to heaven or something? Because it's like I get lonely. Don't be surprised if August dropped that Jada Fire video. Oh yeah. As Kevin on stage said, oh yeah, they're gonna drop the video, but it's kind of like they say, hey, shacking up is unbiblical, and I'm like, well, sometimes it's good to kind of live with someone because what's that saying? You don't know someone until you live with them. I mean, I'm not saying me and the other person have to move together like forever or sign a lease, but what if we stayed at each other's places for a couple of months, interchangeably to know more about each other's habits? August even posted a Red Table Talk on his YouTube. Getting those views. Ad revenue. Show rent be high. Yo, what's up? How's it going? August young, so he's hurt. Will is older, and the older you get a... I don't give a damn. There we go. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Would you date and marry a woman with kids already? Personally, I don't want a pre-made family. Life is going to do what it do. Stay true to your beliefs. Agreed. I feel like we live in what people need to realize is that we don't have to be our parents. Like I I don't got time for baby mama drama. So same. I agree. I agree. I mean, that's not me knocking. I'm sure there are some very nice women, but they have a kid or kids. Maybe their significant other passed or they walked out of their lives. But I feel like if I ever have children, I want to be their father, like their real father, so to speak. And that's not a knock on, oh, if you adopt someone or if you get into a relationship with someone with a child, you become their father, but you're their stepfather. But then that love grows to them being your real child and you're their real father. But in terms of me personally, I would not want children until I get married. And when I say that, I mean when me and a woman get together, I don't even want kids right away. I want to be married to my wife for a while and then have kids. Well, the question is, James, were they in an open relationship before the separation? That's something I want to know. Yeah, I understand what you mean. And thanks for. I know this conversation is kind of off the rip, but now the real question: would you date a woman that has more than two or three baby daddy? One or two shouldn't be. I don't want anything like that. Totally true. Stick to your preferences. Again, yeah, and that's the thing is, for example, in the black community, if a black man gets with someone who isn't a black woman, the people want to riot. But when you have like Tinka Sumter or Halle Berry or whoever else is on that long list of beautiful black women, some are mixed, they get with a man who isn't black, whether they be white, Hispanic, or whatever. Right on. But when a black man is with a white woman or an Asian woman, then the people want to riot. It's like everyone has preferences. Like, I love Moose Track ice cream. That doesn't mean I despise straight chocolate ice cream. Sometimes I like the swirl. Being honest here. I'm being open to an extent. Because sometimes when you get entangled with the toppings, with the sprinkles and the caramel and everything, you want some healing from some ice. Honestly, I can go for some ice cream, but I don't need it right now. I ate oatmeal an hour ago. I'm trying to, get back. 4th of July was a lot of grilled food, so I'm trying to get back on track. August career is fixing to be over. Oh, yeah, I know he ain't cool with it. Dude, you can look on his face talking about ice cream got me hungry. People get mad because I date Hispanic men. Like, if you are happy, what the hell does it matter what anybody else thinks? That's pretty much the vibe I'm at. I mean, what was it? Pride month last month, and then wait, I was just gonna ask you what you consider. You seem like you would be with a white girlfriend picking up. I remember one time I said on the if if there were I feel like on this channel there were three times where I caused an outrage on my fan base. The first was when I called out the Jeffrey and Justin scene, and I felt like a lot of people agree with me, but there were people who didn't. There was another time I said something, but I remember one time I said I love redheads, and people were like, "What?" I have had a crush for redheads since I was 3 years old. And yes, it's common knowledge for people who know me. I like vanilla. That doesn't mean, but let me explain before you dislike this video, before you unsubscribe. Growing up, there were not a lot of black girls that liked me. I was just like the chubby kid, the smart guy, the nice one, but they would go for the taller guys, the bulkier ones, the ones who would act up. I was just the cool guy who was nice as a friend but not boyfriend. But the white girls were very nice and loving. So you really are shaped by your experience. Look, if Jada could talk about entanglement, I can talk about my experiences with females, okay? So don't cancel me. I'm just saying. Y'all asked, look, this is the open discussion. You asked the question. A bunch of y'all were saying, I don't know if you, I don't really rewatch my lives. I don't watch my lives back because I'm on here now. So I don't know if you're watching this live later, if you can see the chats come up like I can. But a bunch of people say, I see you with a white girl. It's like you get that spirit. I am not against dating black women. All I'm saying is, growing up, not a lot of black females were interested in me. And not to mention, when I was in high school, for example, I was in college level classes for 3 of my 4 years. So in those classes, I was one of like 5 black people. And I'm talking about all the in that pool of students, in the pool of students who were in the college level classes, I was like one of maybe 10 to 15 black people. So I was mostly around white people. Like the black girls and all, they were the ones who wanted the thugs, the ones who always got suspended, who would, cause trouble and get into fights. I wasn't that dude. And then when I went to Liberty University, there were not a lot of black women. It was a melting pot. So as long as the person's good to you to make you happy. I remember my first month of college, and I went home and I told my mom, I'm like, wow, Liberty is like a melting pot. There are people from all around the world. Like, what if I decided to marry someone who wasn't black? My mom, can I ask her advice on who to choose? She told me, look, you're an adult now. Whoever you choose is up to you. All I have to say is, when you choose someone, make sure their family accepts you. Other than that, you're good. And I'm like, that was it. And I agree. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I met someone and we loved each other, but their family was totally against it, I'm out. Because when you marry someone, you marry their family. So it's like, even if they aren't racist or judgmental, but their family is, with everything that's going on in the country right now, shoot. Scary stuff, man. But yeah, it's like, I just haven't met a lot of black females who were interested. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But yeah, going back to the red table, I really feel like, yeah, if I ever got in a relationship, yeah, just make sure they're not racist and do your homework on exactly. I feel like we just live in a day and age where it's all about being with someone for appearances, for the status, if you will. But I'd rather stay single for the next 10 years than be hooked up with someone and it just not be the right fit. Because my attitude is, if I ever get married, that's it. Marriage is becoming one, not 20. And the thing is, and to be fair, like, would you move in with a girl that isn't your wife yet? I talked about that before. I wouldn't be fully against it, but we'd have to have a conversation first. It's like, I know that the Bible, what they say, like in church, like the Bible speaks against shacking up, but it's like, it isn't a bad idea to understand a person in their natural environment, because you don't want to get married and find out they have a ton of quirks and character traits that you really don't like. Um, but that's not shacking up, though, if y'all don't have kids. See, again, and then you look at the church, and I know I don't want to step on people's toes, but it's like, the generation in the church, what worked for them might not work for the next generation. So as long as I'm not knocking people up and having a bunch of kids, I don't feel like there's anything wrong. Yes, I grew up around a lot of white kids. Yeah, there were black kids too, but see, in terms of where I lived at, we lived in the backwoods, so there really wasn't anyone around. But yeah, mostly white kids. I mean, and look, I'm being real with you. Most of the black kids that got on the school bus were from the trailer park, and the white kids were from houses, like the rednecks and whatnot. But we were cool because it's like same school. Some of them I still speak to today, but it's like, you really are shaped by how you are grown up. But going back to the lost my train of thought. Give me a second here. Oh, yeah, these are like black celebrities. What color is what? Wow, that sounds like me my earlier life. Oh, what I was saying was you know, like when Michael B. Jordan was in Italy or something, and he was on a boat and he had a lot of white girls on there, and people were going off. No offense to black women or just people in general, anybody in general, that any person who goes after another person because they are not dating within their race. Typically, the people who are quick to raise their pitchforks and riot and whatnot and try to cancel someone because, oh, you're with someone who isn't black, they wouldn't choose you. Like usually people like again, I'm just saying like the people who are the loudest are the ones who most likely weren't going to be chosen to begin with. And usually the people who are the loudest to call out someone else's relationship or marriage, even when they're in a good relationship or marriage, it's because they're in a crappy one. It's like, how dare you get treated right by your man while my man cheats on me? He doesn't have a job. He has like 5 different baby mamas. Like, that's why I said earlier, like, I usually don't talk on this kind of stuff, but this is a hot topic item that everyone's chiming in on. And it is an important discussion to be had. Like, when you get married, you're on point, Jeremy, but a person's class definitely makes a difference. Yes, yes. Because I know, look, I say, like, look, I'm a good guy, single for a while. If I got in a relationship, I'm not going to judge someone because Kevin Hart, good example. He has a cheat sheet. It's easy to say, for example, as a guy who's been single for over 12 years, I don't get hit on a lot of whatever. People flirt now, but it's kind of awkward. I'm oblivious. Yes, I'm oblivious. Despite me being the detective when it comes to theories on these shows and whatnot, if somebody's flirting with me, I honestly don't notice it. There have been times where people have said, "Hey, I had a crush on you in school. I never knew it. I'm not used to it." So when people give me compliments on how I look now, it's like I'm not used to that. I think it's a situation because a lot of my friends from college or high school who are married, in most cases, they have married someone that I've had a crush on in the past, but they didn't choose me. And I remember listening to this podcast before, and this guy was talking. He's like, "Yeah, it's like I'm now coming into like, I'm getting a little bulky, and my face is getting smaller and whatnot, and people are hitting on me now." But then I realized when I was younger, I was always with my brother. He was a little bit taller than me. He was the good-looking one, so females would flock to him. But now that I'm kind of doing my solo thing, and I'm trying, I'm different. People come up to me. I feel like I'm in that situation where people are giving me the attention that was always directed towards my male friends who were the muscular ones, the taller ones, the ones who had cars in college and whatnot. So I'm just now oh, that makes a difference. But being who I am as the introvert that stays in a lot, I don't really see my chances of meeting anyone soon being realistic. But yeah, the social class aspect that you brought up, going to Kevin Hart, it's like it's easy to say that, oh, I don't cheat or I don't do this or that. But the question is, if I were given that temptation, because I'm just thinking about celebrities, how many people are in their DMs on an hourly basis when they go out somewhere? How many attractive people try to come to get with them? And it's like I said, I really am going to save myself for marriage. But the older I get, I realize, like, is that even special? And it's like, is it even noble to say that? Because it's like, it's easy to say, oh, I'm saving myself for marriage. But if I'm not being presented with temptation, again, I'm not giving it up. I'm just saying that right now. But it's like, I feel like in the past couple years, I've been thinking, like, I remember once I was working a temp job at a warehouse at the flag company where my mom works. This was like my second year of college or second. Yeah. So I think I was about 20 or 21. And I remember this one guy, he was kind of cracking jokes about it, the fact that I'm still a virgin. But then on lunch break, he came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, I didn't mean to laugh at you like that, but it's just rare that I hear somebody say that they're still a virgin, that they're still saving themselves for marriage. And truth be told, I got 2 kids, and if I can go back and do it again, I would save myself too." And I'm like, man, that's some deep stuff. But I'm not ashamed of it. It's like, so what? I haven't had sex. Oh well. That is one thing I'm afraid of on my honeymoon. What if I'm bad? I know my voice kind of cracked up. What if I'm bad? Especially if I married someone who isn't a virgin and they've been around the block a few times, and it's like, would I feel inadequate? Probably. Right, I don't know. I won't. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. It's like, but then they say it's like it's all natural. It's like, just let your body. Come on now. It will be. I just said it's like people's like, don't worry, it'll be natural. All good. I'm a virgin as well by choice. And that's the thing. It's like it's easy to say by choice when you're not given a lot of people throwing it at you. It's like, I'm a virgin by choice. Well, Jeremy, how can it be by choice if nobody's really trying to, get out? If you hang on. If you're bad, Jeremy, you just get a lot of practice being. Well, that is not a bad point. I ain't gonna lie. One of my biggest fears: sex on my honeymoon and she gets pregnant. I will be pissed off. I would be pissed. Even if we use I do plan on using a condom. I'm not stupid. I just feel like, God, that would be the worst. Save myself for marriage. Have safe sex on the honeymoon, and then she gets pregnant. I would be so pissed off. Folks have tried before. When I tell you, I will have the wrath of. I'm trying to think of a biblical figure who was mad. I will have the wrath of Jesus in the temple. I know some honeymoon kids. I'll be like, God, this is not what I signed up for. I should have been single for life. Like, it's just crazy. You funny? I'm being real. This is a legitimate fear. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep this going. So that's my fear too. Yeah. It's just one of those things where I'm not in a rush to have kids. My nephew is 10, and I'm like, I'm glad I got to spend some time with him, but then I'm looking at how he's being raised, and it's like that's not how I would raise a kid. And then I feel like another thing, I love how you stand on what you want. I appreciate that. The highest told me to stay pure. It's romantic to get pregnant on your honeymoon, and everybody will know exactly when. First of all, be quiet. I don't care what other people think, unless they donate diapers or whatever. And plus, it's kind of awkward too. How would that be? Would I be nervous about sex? Like, oh my God, like I'm standing there at the altar. I see my wife coming down the aisle. Hey, I'm doing all right, Brittany. I see my wife coming down the aisle, and it's like, I'm about to get laid tonight. And it's like, people, especially people know I'm a virgin. It's like, Jeremy's about to get laid tonight. It's like the reception, honeymoon. Now, I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. I never went enjoy your wife before the kid. Exactly. If I ever get married, I want to have 2 to 3 years of just us. I ain't in no rush for kids. I never been south of the border. I never even been below the neck. I never even made out with anybody. So I don't know. What do you think about husbands marrying one wife? That polygamy stuff, not for me. Not for me. I have no judgment towards anyone else, but it's just not for me. Yes, you will be nervous for if you haven't tried to garden. Exactly. I find it rare for men like you who say they're saving themselves for marriage these days because everything is so sexualized, it's noble, and stick to your beliefs. Thank you. Y'all have to talk about it, make out, sure, she's on birth control again. I mean, I'm not opposed to men. I got a question. How many of y'all are accident? I wasn't. I was just the last. I was the second one. So, Jeremy, bro, you need a podcast. What should I name it? Yes, thank you, Jeremy, for being a real man. I appreciate it. But, I mean, I'm just sticking to my morals and everything. I mean, considering that Greenleaf and The Oval are the only shows on right now, I might start a podcast for real. Uh, what y'all did for the fourth? I just went home for like 5 days. They cooked on the grill. We had a good time. That was all good. Sex ain't all of that. And yeah, it's like to be completely honest. To be completely honest, I'm in for the companionship. After kids, your sex life will be equivalent to the army song. I mean, I'd rather cuddle than have sex. I'd rather watch a movie, chill, and just get to know each other emotionally than start banging. I know I'm a man, I got needs, but at the same time, that's another reason I haven't had sex yet. It's like I felt like this banner was the appropriate one for the Red Table Talk. Red Solo Cup with Jeremy. I gotta see if that's a trademark, but that's a very good name. I feel like every episode I'd have this. Yes, Lamont got a potential name. Hang on, I want to write it down. Red Solo Cup with Jeremy. Let's see. All right, I jotted it down. Did you wish that show? Yes. Yeah, I did watch the show. You are. Oops. Sorry, hit the wrong button. Da da da. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I hit the wrong button. The chats went up when I was trying to go down to the bottom one. But yeah, I mean, how should I do the podcast? Should I just record the audio? Do you want a video format or what? Because that's another question. I know audio. I mean, podcasts can be done in many different fashion. Video format. I mean, I got the mic. I got some headphones. Yeah, see, I got my mic. I got the headphones that are unopened. I mean, okay, okay, no joke, and I'm not just saying that. What my plan is, what my plan is, I got a lot of things on eBay. Well, a few more things on eBay to list. What's today? It's already. Oh, it's Friday. I thought it was Saturday. I need to finish my taxes this weekend, so I have it done by the deadline. How is a podcast different from these YouTube videos? Exactly. That's my biggest question. I mean, I could save the videos in MP3 format. I actually have an interview coming up with one of the cast of Bruh, Valerie. Why? Yeah, my taxes are going to be done. Don't worry. It's uncensored. Yeah, okay. Because I don't drink either. I don't drink by choice. This was Welcher Sparkling. Yeah, podcasts are different because, yeah, it is uncensored. There really isn't about... You only get ad revenue if somebody picks you up or you get sponsors. And plus, it would be a great way to just talk. It'll be fun. So, yeah. Red Solo Cup with Jeremy. Let me Google that. Hey, P. Burke. Welchers is honestly better than actual champagne. I'm actually Googling, so are you going to cuss on there? Maybe. I mean, I'm not just going to curse, but I... No, I don't see Red Solo Cup Jeremy, so I'll think about it. Okay, anyway, all this time I've been drinking cranberry juice. I got some in the fridge, actually, cranberry juice. I've drank before the cursing Christian. Nope, I ain't doing that. Now, I have drank before, but I've never been drunk. I've had beer, champagne, wine. Just not my thing. And again, it's not even a biblical thing. I just don't drink because I just don't drink. Just like I don't, well, both my parents smoke, so I grew up around cigarette smoke, and I hate it, so I don't smoke because of that. But plus, my job is me talking, so I need to keep my vocal cord strong. Ruthless come back to fall. Oh no, that's Hannah. Red wine. Yeah, like if it's a holiday and somebody offered me something, I would probably drink it. That's where I get it from, the haves and have-nots. Yeah, it's been a while since I even thought about the show, so maybe we'll get a trailer soon. But yeah, like I said, once I get taxes done, and yeah, that's pretty much the last big thing on my list. I'm just pointing at the calendar. I'll try to get the podcast up by the end of the month. Yeah. And what did they say? Oh yeah, this podcast is available on all audio formats. So I'll probably do it on Spotify, maybe SoundCloud, Patreon. I'll work it out. No, I don't smoke. Like I don't smoke cigarettes, and I'm not doing drugs either, nor cocaine. Cause I think I talked about this in my last live stream. I was watching a bunch of episodes of Unsung, and it's like anytime a musical artist inserts a lot of alcohol or drugs into their careers, they fizzle out. And my biggest thing is like, if I didn't need drugs and alcohol to get success, why would I add it to my life and just make things crumble apart? You know, typically it's like, you know, when they reach a point in their career where they feel like nobody can tell them anything, or they reach a point in their career where they kind of falling off. That's when they lose it all. Wine on occasion, yeah, like I wouldn't be against that. Like, let's say if I married someone who was a drinker, not a drunk, but a drinker, I wouldn't mind a glass every now and then. But in terms of me, Whitney and Bobby, woo, I've honestly never smoked or drank in my life. Yeah, that's understandable. Some people, it's like those people who say, I'm not kissing until marriage. Hey, are you currently pursuing dating? No. I mean, I'm not really pursuing anything or anyone, to be honest. Like, a friend asked me, I have not had a crush since October. I did give, I wouldn't date someone that smokes drinks every day. How do you see the haves and have not ending? I haven't really thought about it, just because, like I said before, the if loving you is wrong ended in such a bad way, I wouldn't be surprised if loving you is wrong ended on a bad note. So, I mean, the haves and the have-nots. I will say this though, about a month and a half ago, I did give my number to a girl in Dollar General who works there. Never got hit back up. She said she followed me on social media. Basically, she's an employee there, and it's a Dollar General it's in like another location. It's maybe 15 minutes away from my apartment. I usually don't go there unless I'm going to Bedford to go to Walmart and then come back. Or you didn't get her? Yeah, I kind of dropped the ball there. Again, I'm oblivious and I'm a novice at this. She she knew me because I've been in there several times, but I never knew her name because her name tag is usually covered by her hair. Long story short, gave her my information. She's actually been on the channel. She's followed me on Twitter or whatnot, but I gave her my number. I never got hit up, so I'm like, oh. I mean, I wasn't too broken up about it, but in terms of me interacting with a female for potential dating, that was my only time in the past 9 months. So, whatever. Whatever. But she should have gave her number. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. But in any case, I'm not rushing it. I honestly don't care. If it happens, it happens. Drinking is not all that. That's what people say about making out and having sex. I'm like, well, I wouldn't know. One of my favorite lines to use whenever there's a girl who rejects me or chooses someone else. Yeah, I've watched dang near every single episode of Unsung. Basically, people's like, well, Jeremy, that girl was no good. You dodged a bullet. Sometimes a brother wants to get shot, you know? Maybe not with a HIV or a baby, but sometimes you want to feel something. It's like, well, dang. But then there have been girls like last year I got rejected. Like people talk about 2019 for me was trash. I hated 2019. But it's like the first 3 months I got rejected like 3 times. One girl chose another dude and then they got married. One girl came to me because we haven't seen each other in a while. And then she hits me up with oh, I don't want to be friends because we've been through too much. And then the third girl ghosted me for 3 days after I told her I liked her. And then I hit her up again. It's like, look, you know what? My bad. I didn't mean to make it awkward. She sends me a paragraph friend zoning me. Yeah, that's when I'm like, I'm done. I'm completely done. Yeah, I've been through a lot of shit. So, yeah, it sucks. But I think they try having an ex trash your name, man. I don't know. My thing, next time exchange contacts so you'll be more active in that pursuit. Yeah, I know I messed up. I should have done that. But basically, ever since I hit 100K, I've just never given a shit. I feel like at this point, I got success. I'm doing all right. I'm just climbing, doing better. At this point, it's like, you know what? I'm not getting rejected. I'm done. It takes me back to why I quit my job and started doing working for myself, because that was at a point where I was not getting other jobs, where I was like applying but being rejected. And I think at the time there was a girl I had a crush on. She rejected me. It's like I was so sick of rejection. I wanted to just branch off and do my own thing. Even if I failed at YouTube and got to the point where I would have to get another job, at least I said, "Hey, I could try." I would not know about dating during those years because I didn't do it. But that would be a good podcast topic. I don't know who my first subscriber was. I'm sorry. I honestly do not. But yeah, it's like after I hit 100K, that was my big goal. After that, I was like, and I said it before, like, I don't care if I ever get contacted by Tyler Perry. I don't care if I never get married. It's like I did something that I worked my butt off to get. So I don't feel like anything is out of reach. If I set my mind to it, I can do anything. Somebody told me this years ago, Jeremy, you got all these degrees and everything. You never drop a Cash App link. I don't know how to do it on this live stream. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know how to do it. I think I got to pull up my YouTube to actually do it on my computer. Because I said my Cash App earlier. I couldn't date because till I was 18. Oh. Basically, for me, whenever you want something, it doesn't work out, but you're not trying. Yeah, it's like when you're not trying, that's when it happens. I mean, my attitude has been see, exactly. We're in the middle of a pandemic. The last thing on my mind is trying to hook up with somebody. I mean, that's just my personal attitude. Thanks, Marcy. Where I'm from, kids data age. Yeah, I mean, from my hometown, it's not uncommon for people I went to high school with to have multiple baby mamas. Like, I don't see the. Why do women like the bad guys? You know, it's like the guys that treat them like crap, the ones who basically don't work, the ones who aren't goal oriented. That's someone I want. Someone who's goal oriented, someone who is successful. Maybe they aren't rich, of course, but they have dreams. And it's like, I got student loan debt, but I'm working to pay off my debt and everything. So that's another thing. Honestly, my student loan debt is abysmal. I want to take care of that. They have dreams, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm on my computer right now. I'm going to put in my Cash App. So give me a second, please, just 1 second. It feels weird seeing myself on here. See, I got my comment right there. Here's my Cash App. I'm trying to see if I can pin it or something. They have the best. Well, to each their own. They like the bad guys when they're young and immature and want the good man when they're older, wiser. Yeah, it's like when I was in the newspaper back at home for my YouTube channel, I remember going back home. This was around late March or April. It was when my aunt passed away and I went home for the funeral. I remember going to Dollar General and I remember being in my hometown for a few days. I ran into like 3 to 5, no, like 3 girls from high school I had crushes on. Woof. They do not, one, they do not look like how they did in high school. Two, a couple of them had babies on their hips and everything. I'm like, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Like when people say dodge the bullet, I do not disagree with them there. So yeah. It's one of those situations where if it's meant to happen, it's meant to, but I'm like, God, it's like, what if I get married and I'm not in my prime anymore, you know? I honestly don't like no one to set me up. You know what gets you know the one thing I hated back in like college? Look, I know I am no movie star looking dude. I know I don't have abs or anything like that. But what I hate is when my friends would try to set me up with someone who is not at all my type. Either they, I'm trying to watch my words here. Again, I'm not a skinny dude, but it's like they set me up with bigums, or they set me up with smokers, or they set me up with someone who is completely not my type. And I'm like, you would think you're and the worst thing they always told me was, well, you got to start somewhere, Jeremy. And it's like, what? I don't want to date to date. I know the whole thing is to date for marriage, but at the same time, I'm not just going to hook up with somebody just to do it. That's why I don't do online dating with the Tinder or these other random apps and everything. That's just not who I am. I relate to you so much as far as relationship goes. Or I hate when my friends go tell a guy I like him and make up things to make me look bad. Man, I know what you're talking about because most of my old female classmates were fat and had multiple children. So some started having children when they first went to college. It's sad. Some people just threw their lives away. And that was one thing I never wanted in high school, was to go to a college because my girlfriend goes to the college. Because there was a girl, very smart, lots of opportunities ahead of her. She went to the university her boyfriend, her high school boyfriend went to. They broke up a couple months after. I'm like, dang. Because this girl had options, but she opted to follow her heart. And then that just, man, that was messed up. A lot of women think they can clean up Sugar Thug and turn. Yeah, basically, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like they come to people like me once they've had their wild streak, once they've had a couple kids. I don't want you. I don't want you. That's it. It's like, no. Like, again, like I said earlier on, if somebody isn't a virgin, that doesn't mean I don't want to be with them. But I'm not going to get with someone who's had multiple kids by these useless baby daddies and whatnot. That's not, nah, I ain't into that. I ain't into that. Hey, I did look. I ain't complaining, but a few people asked me to drop my Cash App. I did, but I don't see no activity. Again, I ain't saying you got to donate, but I got on my computer, put in the Cash App. I know some comments aren't showing up because of YouTube censorship, but I'm actually able to see them on my computer. Y'all saying some interesting stuff. What's the limit on a woman body count you could deal with? I honestly could not tell you. Like, as a man, I know that I have an ego, and I can't say it's like. But I mean, look, you can't save or change anyone else that's really into my agree. Here's my example. Let's say if a girl told me she's been with 5 dudes, I'd be like, okay. What if she says she's been with 25? I don't know how. I honestly could not answer that question. As a guy who's saving himself for marriage, I don't. I feel like if I had that conversation, you know how it is when you're young. I feel like if I was with a woman and I had that conversation and I said, "Oh, I'm waiting for marriage," I could see the look on their face either being of surprise, like "Oh," or "Oh," because then they would think I would ask the question, "Oh, are you still a virgin?" No. How many men have you been with? And it's like, I honestly do not know. As long as they don't have a disease, we golden. So that I honestly could not tell you how many men a woman has been with to turn me off to her. I honestly could not answer that question because I don't know. Maybe you'll say that to a woman that will agree with you and on the same page. Again, I'm in the mindset of if I found a virgin, interesting. But let me put it this way. If I met 2 women and I was more compatible with the woman who wasn't a virgin, I would probably be with that woman. Like I said, being a virgin is no longer a requirement on my future wife checklist, so to speak. So, I keep thinking it's Saturday for some reason. I'm sorry. I keep getting distracted. Oh, Renee Hunter, thank you for your $5 donation. Renee Hunter, thank you. Shout out to Valerie and Eva. I don't know if you're all on here, but that $40 y'all sent me the other on Wednesday helped out. I ordered KFC on DoorDash. I mean Grubhub. Man, I only sent 5 to see if it went through. It went through. And like I say, even if you send $1, that means a lot. If a woman tells you she's only been with one man, how are you to believe her? I don't know. I do not know. If somebody told me how many people they had sex with, I can't. How am I going to prove that? It is Saturday. Dang. Wow. Okay. I'm just throwing out a whack. She's most likely lying if she says she saw one guy. Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's always the girls I don't want throwing themselves at me when I can't get. I mean, I'd rather be with one girl than like 5. I'd rather have one good woman than like 10 girls throwing themselves at me. So what is the point? How do you get over that? That's my point. Like I said, I don't even know how to answer the question of where do you live? I live in Virginia. It's 12:01. Okay, it's officially Saturday. My bad. I forgot. You never answered my question. Would you date a girl that got ran? I have no idea what that means. Something about a train? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Basically, I have no idea. I mean, I will admit, it seems odd that whenever Tyler Perry shows go on, there's always like when you get a girlfriend, that's when the women come. I've heard that it's like, oh yeah, people don't want you until you're taken. 20-something-year-old and teenagers look different now than back in the day. Oh yeah, I agree. That's definitely true. Like younger people don't look the same. We're state neighbors. I'm glad you don't know what that means, and I'm not going to Google that either. Come on, ride the train down to ride in. I think I need to shave. Plus, I hate. See, I feel like my face looks different on my iPod than it does on my laptop because it looks like one of my eyes is squinting and my face is bigger than it really is. So you're looking for someone without a background like you? Not really. It's like I said. I mean, I don't think that I just don't want someone who has kids. That's pretty much it. So. I put in the Cash App again. I'm not begging for money, but it's just like I wish I could pin the comment, but it's on there a second. That's the last time I'm gonna put it. I think we're like 4 hours apart. Yeah, it's 12:03 right now, and I slept earlier. I took a nap at like 6. Good luck finding the right one. Thanks, but Toya J. Okay, I will let you know in just a second. Latoya sent 5. I did. Thank you so much. 3 or 4 sums in her college days? Probably. I, I don't see what. I feel like more now than ever, dating is like a business in the sense of you're going to have a very hard time finding somebody because of my standards or because of I don't know. Personally speaking, most guys would. Wait, I don't even know what that means, so I can't. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what language you're talking right now. I don't. All I got to say is, I'm personally trying to get my finances in a better position. I'm not trying to get into a relationship, right? I don't feel like I have much to offer. I mean, I probably do, but it's like I mean, I don't feel like I'm at a place in my life where I want a marriage. I'm trying to get my finances up. Don't say that. Well, I mean, I just paid off my car. I want to be completely out of debt by the end of the month in regards to credit cards and everything. So all I got are bills and student loan debt. I would like a Christian. Yes, I would like a Christian. Feel you on the student loans. Yeah, I mean, I feel. See, your comment got to. Yeah, I'm on my computer now. YouTube has a very sensitive censorship now, where if certain comments come in, they have to be reviewed before they pop up. So that's not me doing it. That's YouTube. No, it's because you're not sure what you're looking for. It seems. I'm not really looking for anything. That's the thing. I mean, like I said before, I've just been rejected so many times. I've just stopped giving a F. I just stopped caring. And that doesn't mean like I'm just going to date anybody. It's like I've just shut myself off. I hope no one's passed against them. Yeah, I agree, James. That's a very good point. We'll find someone at church. Who again? We're in a pandemic. When you stop, somebody's coming, but I don't go out. I don't go out. That's the thing. I don't go out. I know people say, "We'll go out." Nah, I wouldn't date Jehovah Witness. No, I'm letting comments go through now. Hey, Keith, I appreciate that, but if they're like extremely dirty comments, don't let them through. Christian Mingle, you seem on point. What you want, just live your life. Like I said, I'm just trying to do my own thing, get my finances right, and do that's it. I'm not ready to jump into something. Yeah, thanks, Keith. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, if the comments like way too graphic or a lot of profanity, no. But if it's a decent comment, that's great. Pray God will send. I'm honestly not praying. I don't care at the moment. I get lonely sometimes? Yes. But at the same time, it's all good. I feel like SpongeBob will get his driver's license before I get married. But then again, I haven't watched SpongeBob in years, so he probably got it, but I don't know. Same, I'm not looking to date until next year. I need to get my credit score up and my money. A good partner will enhance your life. I don't disagree with that. I'm not saying that I'm 28. I don't think you can't be successful by yourself, but I feel like okay, Taylor Swift moment here. Cause I found her vinyl and clearance last week in Target. Love her. I watched her Netflix special when it came out not too long ago, and I remember. I think it was when she won what was it? The album of the year for 1989 or whatever. And she said at that moment, I realized I didn't have anybody to call. I mean, sure, I had my mom and everything, but it's like when you're so focused on climbing the mountain to get to success or get to that goal. I understood that reference. When you make it to the mountaintop, you realize you're standing alone. One moment. Yeah, I'm knocking stuff over. Yeah, I still haven't hung this up yet. Candace Young, no. It's like when I got this. When I finally got my award for 100,000 subscribers, it felt empty. It felt great, but it felt empty. There was no one to celebrate with. There was nobody to hug. I mean, I remember when I got this in the mail, I waited. I was too nervous to open the box. Now, my roommate, when he got home, I was like, hey, man, if you got a moment, could you come into the room so you could open it with me? Because that's like I had nobody else to share with. Like, yo, because my roommate, he did tell me, he was the first one that's like, hey man, why don't you see if you can get monetized? So he was the person who told me to get monetized. Just like 6 months before, a friend was like, dude, stop blogging and do YouTube and see what happens. So it was one of those situations where um, I was given advice. Hey Joyce, Joyce, thank you for the $10 donation. So thank you, Latoya, thank you, Joyce, and thank you, Renee. Erica. But no, it's like when I got this, it's like they say, success is nothing if you have no one to share it with. So as much as I love this thing, my life has been okay, Jeremy. Now what? 1 million subscribers? Someday it will happen, but I'm not really pushing for it because I know that would take years unless something really blows up. I've just been focusing on different things I can accomplish, but it's like I didn't have anybody to party with or anything, so yeah. If you're dating a woman, she says, let's see where it goes, that means she's about to waste your time. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Oh. Okay, anyway. Um, yeah, it's one of those situations. I'm not married. I'm not dating. I'm not in a relationship. See, I feel like I've been called to the red table. I mean, look, I'll start the podcast. We'll get it going. I mean, basically, what I'll do is just like do videos like this. It took about 2 years to get 100K. Yeah, I'm getting my priorities in check. Would you date someone younger, like if you were Bishop and I'm 28? I don't know if I would go lower than, let's say, 24. Oh my God, we're so alike. What are the most beautiful celebrity women? I was actually watching a Prince documentary last night. I promise you. It's one of those situations where I think Vanity, I wish Vanity and Prince had worked it out. I think they have. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the women for the 80s are beautiful. Do people nowadays know the difference between just talking day? I didn't even know what DTR was until college. That was a white term. No offense. That was a white term. We didn't use that term in my hometown to find a relationship. Look, these are my confessions. Prince had a lot of see what I mean? DTR is define the relationship. I cannot tell you the amount of times where I was mindlessly chasing after someone without even realizing their lack of interest. Yeah, we're just talking. And it's like when you feel like we're doing more, but then we're not. See, again, it goes back to I've been blind, rejected so many times. I'm just done. Nowadays, all you see is Insta thought. Hey, to each their own, man. All I know is I'm in no rush for anything. I've just been through a lot of emotional trauma with this kind of stuff, and I've just given up. And I don't mean to sound that in a negative way. I've just accepted I'm not really looking to get in anything. Like I said, I'm trying to get my finances straight, save up money. If this pandemic has taught us anything, is to always have a backup plan. That's why I'm like, thank God I have more than one stream of income, and that's about it. I'm in no rush. I feel bad for people with kids, man. They're going to have to rearrange their lives even more than before in regards to like kids going to school or being homeschooled and everything like that. So yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Would you date an old? I don't know. I mean, it's like, look, I had to pay my bills. I'm like, I mean, when you say OnlyFans, are we talking like a foot model, or are we talking panties and above? Like if it's like, oh, you wanted to show off of the foot freaks, I'm like, okay, whatever. We can work past that. But if we're talking like everything, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. This is not a good time. I have like 4 friends who announced pregnancies in the past 2 months, and I'm like, yeah, that's that quarantine love right there. Foot freaks. You sound like my son stated I can't afford a wife. I mean, I just feel like I want to chip away at this student loan debt or come up with a better plan. I did not watch the BET Awards. I was asleep. Um, oh, sorry, I missed some chats. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you can curse before YouTube blocks it. I honestly don't. It sucked. I mean, it was the quarantine edition, so. Well, we'll find out who killed Veronica soon, I guess. Um, yeah, like I said, I mean, most of the girls I know are girls who are either taken or rejected me. I haven't really met anyone new, so yeah, I don't really see myself dating in the near future. Jeffrey's gonna be the one to kill Veronica. I don't need that on my I don't need that on my record. So, Will and Jada still trending. Thank you. Pray for me. I appreciate it. Again, if something happens, I don't even know if I would say I'll let you know. I would keep it I'd keep it under wraps until. Do you really like the shows you review? I only review the shows I like, even when I criticize them. Entanglement is the new word of 2020. I feel sorry for Will to look on his face. I agree. Did it look like Jay was trying to get back at him? I don't think get back at him. I don't watch the chat. I feel like Will, it was an uncomfortable discussion. I think we talked about this before. I think that they've moved past the August thing, but this situation has reopened old wounds. That's what I think. Because to be honest, imagine being in a relationship, your partner stepped out on you, you worked it out behind closed doors, and now you have to readdress the subject in public. It's going to sting. I wonder what will happen to Cry Baby. I don't know. Yeah, no, I haven't really thought about the haves and the have-nots in a while. I'm older than you. They are getting a divorce. Definitely, the wound is still fresh. Yeah, I agree. Will looked like he failed his wife, hearing her say she wanted to feel good. Oh my God. It's basically like I haven't felt good in a long time. I agree. Dude, he was it was like Ali taking those shots to the face. I got a bunch of banners. It's like this one just fit the bill for the conversation, that's for sure. I don't think Tyler's going to pass out like DL. I think he's found a balance between work and life, and I applaud him for it. And guys, thank you all again for the Cash App donations. Snoop, what is Will and Jada? I don't know. They aren't relationship goal. Bad marriage for life. Boom. Nope. I love your commentary. Thank you. August getting mad at everyone on Twitter except Jada. I did hear about P Valley. So August was. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty interesting to see where we're going to go with the dynamic on the haves and the have-nots. But like I said, given how If Loving You Is Wrong was just ended, I don't have high expectations. Is Will and Jada a show? I honestly think this was either to save face or to get ratings, because I honestly don't feel like this Red Table Talk went as in depth as it could have gone. But like I said before, I think Will had his side pieces, but he probably had him sign NDAs, so that's why we haven't heard anyone pop up. Yeah, I'll review Bruh and Ruthless. Hang on, just gonna put this up. Give me a second. Yeah, I agree. I don't think the haves and the have-nots is going to end properly, so that's why I don't have any expectations for it. Yeah, I agree. They've been doing it for years, but they kind of had to speak up. I mean, my biggest takeaway is, oh my God, I didn't know Will and Jada were legitimately going to separate at one point, and I didn't know that they've never made any comments about the August situation. Yeah, just closing the box. Yeah, I mean, being the older person, I can see why she's being the one that's like at fault. And just saying, like, August was younger, impressionable, and stuff like that. So, but hey, I mean, it's their relationship. They can do what they want. They're separating. She had a relationship during the break. People want to suddenly be traditional. That's why I don't have any condemning thoughts. It's like, is their relationship taking a break to some means messing around with someone else, while the other person feels like, nope, not until we're officially split. So there we go. But this was an interesting discussion, to say the least. That's all I got to say. But before we wrap up, I'll take a couple more questions. I'm probably going to stay up a little bit longer, get some stuff done. I can't believe it's Saturday. This has thrown me off. But yeah, I'll take a couple more questions. Do you think that 20-some-year-old people and teenagers, things have changed? Yeah. They certainly dress differently. Okay. Yeah, they said they were separated. That just opened another door to this situation. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Make sure you give a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, thanks to those who gave on Cash App. Thanks to those who donated here on YouTube. Oh! Oh my God. Naya Riviera. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram. I have not looked at all the details, but it just seems like people raise their kids very interesting. Yeah, Naya Riviera. I completely forgot about that. Um, what was it? Her and her 4-year-old son, and they got on a boat. Little man got back on the boat and made the call because what did he say? I saw my mommy go down in the water and not come up again. And that's all. It pretty much went from to find her to a recovery mission, because at that point she's assumed to be dead. To my knowledge, we have not gotten any updates yet. So I honestly don't know. I have no conspiracies, because I don't know. I've seen some conspiracies online, but all I know is I just feel bad for her son. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, at 4, he recognized that I saw mommy go down in the water, but I didn't see her come back up. And that's just 2020 is wild, y'all. It is. But like I said, 2019 was trash. But yeah, they ruled out. They ruled an accident. Nah, I didn't hear about the Twilight thing. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this was some kind of conversation, but I definitely think Will and Jada probably had words once the cameras went off. Um, yeah, but yeah, okay, guys. But I will probably do another live this weekend. So there we go. Well, good morning, y'all. Hey, have a great night. I'll talk to y'all soon. Like I said, I got a few more things to list on eBay. Then I'm going to finish my taxes this weekend. So I'll probably do a live stream later on, and I'll hit y'all up later. But thanks for this great conversation. I'll work on the podcast and the rewatches, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care. Try to stay cool. It's supposed to be in the 90s all weekend, so I'm staying inside, not dating. Later.